Hi, you're watching Teen Kids News. I'm Reed. Let's begin with our top story. There are a number of things you can do to enhance your college application. Emily tells us about one of them.
That's right. If you're not sure if it's a smart move to take advanced placement courses, what we lovingly call APs, wonder no more. We've got your back. And back with us is the editor-in-chief of the Princeton Review, Rob Franek. Rob, are APs more important now than before?
Well, APs were important before the test-optional movement surged during the pandemic, but more so now, especially with many students not submitting their SAT or ACT scores.
For viewers who may be new to all of this, can you explain what you mean by test optional?
Absolutely. Test optional means that you needn't submit your SAT or your ACT scores for academic admission to schools, but it doesn't prohibit you from submitting those scores.
So, are you finding that more students are taking APs?
Yeah, a higher percentage of U.S. public high school students are taking AP courses as well as exams now than 10 years ago, and they're succeeding on them.
By succeeding, you mean they're scoring higher than before?
And yeah, exams are scored on a 1 to 5 scale. 3 is passing, 4 or a 5 is needed for college credit. About 730,000 students earned a 3 or better on at least one AP exam in 2022. That's up 18% from 2021.
Getting college credit is one of the reasons why you recommend taking APs, right?
You can earn college credit, you can save time and money. You can earn placement in higher level college courses. That's why they're called advanced placement. And they can allow you options like studying abroad and graduating early. So that saves you some money.
And not only save you money, but help you get money as well.
You can win scholarships and grants due to your AP scores because they're used in award decisions just like the SAT and the ACT.
Besides money, why else is it good to have APs on your application?
Well, one big reason is that it distinguishes your college admission application. It shows admission officers that are reviewing your applications that you've challenged yourself and that you can handle college-level coursework.
Any final words of advice?
Absolutely. Let's remember that AP exams and courses enhance your high school education. They are considered college courses.
Thanks for enhancing our program, Rob, with all the great advice.
Always a pleasure. Thanks again.
So while AP courses may be a lot of work while you're in high school, as Rob pointed out, they may save you a lot of work when you're in college. For Teen Kids News, I'm Emily.
If you wear earbuds or headphones walking to school, you could be walking into trouble. Wearing headphones increases your chances of getting hurt. You may not hear the warning sounds of approaching danger, like a car. So here's some sound advice. Keep the volume low enough to still be aware of what's going on around you.
They're one of the top predators in the ocean, and yet one of the most friendly sea creatures. Coming up, we get very up close and personal with dolphins. I'm about to have a close encounter of the dolphin kind.
Hi, Scott. I'm Carolina. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the National Aquarium.
Well, thank you. I've always wanted to be here.
Excellent.
See some dolphins.
Are you excited?
I'm super excited.
Awesome.
The National Aquarium in Baltimore, Maryland is right on the harbor leading to the Chesapeake Bay and Atlantic Ocean. That's where some of the aquarium's star attractions come from. Bottlenose dolphins are crowd favorites. They're not fish, they're mammals. The babies get milk from their mothers, and just like us, they're sociable. And how smart are dolphins?
Dolphins are very smart. It's kind of hard to categorize exactly how smart they are because there's no true way of knowing, but they're very socially complex animals. They learn pretty easily, so it's a lot of fun to work with them.
I was soon going to find out just how true that is. But one more question first. And how do they communicate with each other?
They communicate in a lot of different ways. So most of the time when people think of dolphins and communication, they think of vocalizations like clicks and whistles, and that is part of it. We don't know obviously what they're saying. That's between them, but the other ways they communicate sometimes is body language. So a lot of times they will jump out of the water, make really big splashes. They'll kind of hit their pectoral or flukes against the surface of the water, and that's all communication among the dolphins.
Dolphins have something in common with us teens. We both spend time in schools.
Yeah, so schools is the terms that we use when dolphins hang out together in big social groups. It can also be called a pod of dolphins, and it can be a different range of numbers, anywhere as few as about 10 or 12 to as big as a couple of hundred dolphins at a time.
But school has an extra special meaning for these dolphins. They get lessons. First, they're taught by following a pole, but soon they learn to respond to hand signals, and that's how the trainers guide them through their show. Carolina introduced me to the family, sisters Maya and Chesapeake's daughter Bailey.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to meet Maya first,
All
okay?
right.
So I want you to come down next to me on either side, whatever is most comfortable for you. And we're going to go ahead. All right, so this is Maya. Maya is 12 years old.
Just like a puppy waiting to be petted, Maya stretched out so I could run my hand along her back and her tail, or fluke.
What do you think she feels like?
Like a dolphin, I guess?
Like a dolphin, yeah. Sometimes people describe it as like a hard-boiled egg, like with the shell taken off. Yeah.
Seems Maya didn't like that comparison.
All right, Scott, are you ready to ask her for some behaviors?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna ask her to applaud. So what I want you to do is put both hands straight up and just wave to her really big. Good job, very nice. All right. All right, now we're gonna ask her to do some vocalizations on cue. So what I want you to do is put your hand like a fist and just show it to her right in front of her face. Just like that. Let's try it again. Good job, very nice. Now we're gonna go ahead and ask her to twirl around in a circle for us, okay? So what I want you to do is actually stand up with me and just twirl around in a circle, and you can do it once or twice, and you can actually stop and watch her. Good job. Good job. And I let her know she did a great job by actually blowing on my whistle. That's exactly what that means to a dolphin.
They also know they'll be rewarded with a snack. That's why Maya responded right away when I signaled her to wave her fluke.
Now, are you okay with getting a little wet?
Yeah.
Just a little bit? All right. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and reach in the water and just splash her. Good job. Very nice. Very nice. You can never win a water fight with a dolphin, trust me.
And I got the wet shirt to prove it. Coming up, we'll find out why dolphins are always smiling.
It was awesome, and I love seeing the dolphins. They are like awesome.
We're at the National Aquarium in Baltimore, home to some very cool Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. Now they seem friendly because they look like they're smiling, are they?
Well, that's actually one of the most deceptive things about them, that they're always smiling because of the way their mouth is shaped. They can be friendly, but the thing is, it takes really a lot of time to develop a bond with them.
That's why the only time you should try to touch a dolphin is in a supervised program, like the dolphin encounter here at the aquarium.
And now we're gonna go ahead and meet our youngest dolphin at the National Aquarium. This is Bailey.
Bailey just turned 5, and she likes to play fetch.
Take this basketball, and Scott, what I want you to do is just go ahead and lob it right at her. Don't worry, she's good at catching. And now get ready, put both hands straight up.
Bailey's a basketball natural. She does her own version of dribbling around the court.
Good job, very nice. So right now what we're gonna ask her to do is do an aerial, so it's a big jump out of the water, okay? So what I want you to do is put your right hand straight out and bring it down and across your body just like that. And you're gonna see Bailey come up out of the water really high.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Very nice. here. Oh, that was exciting.
Now, what can we learn from dolphins?
We can learn a lot from dolphins. They're, as you probably just saw, they're really cool animals. They can teach us a lot about how we communicate with animals but most importantly, what we can do to help them.
Are dolphins endangered?
So Atlantic bottlenose dolphins, which are the dolphins that are here at the National Aquarium, are not endangered. But as always with any animal species, really, it's kind of human intervention sometimes that can threaten them.
As Teen Kids News has often reported, all kinds of marine life can be harmed by pollution and debris like fish nets. Dolphins are no exception. One way we can help protect dolphins is by learning more about them. We have a link to the National Aquarium on our website. For Teen Kids News, I'm Scott. And I think I'm going to need a new shirt.
You can tell how fast an animal can run by the size of its eyes. Well, sort of. It seems that animals that run fast have bigger eyes than slower-moving animals. It makes sense. Bigger eyes usually mean better vision, something you need if you're moving fast, like a horse. Being able to see an obstacle before you crash into it makes sense. Guess big eyes fall into the category of survival of the fittest. Or maybe I should say survival of the fleetest. For Teen Kids News, I'm Camille.
Let's face it, learning to drive isn't easy. There are so many skills you need to master. This video shows you one of them, courtesy of the National Road Safety Foundation.
Superheroes have X-ray vision.
We don't. So when driving at night, always use your headlights so you can see things like bike riders and pedestrians.
Superheroes can jump over obstacles in a single bound.
We can't, so be aware of dangerous situations.
Superheroes don't need sleep.
But we do. In fact, teens are 30% more likely to get into a crash if they're driving on less than 8 hours of sleep.
Superheroes never go on a mission without their gear.
And we should never drive without our seatbelts. That goes for passengers too.
But just like superheroes,
We have the power to save lives by staying alert and driving safely.
you don't need superpowers.
To be a super driver.
Don't miss the other cool videos created by the NRSF. It's easy to find more. Simply like, follow, and subscribe to the National Road Safety Foundation. We'll be right back with more Teen Kids News right after this. 50 U.S. states, 50 state flags, each with its own unique history. Here's Eric with Flag Facts.
Maine stretches further east than any other U.S. state. It's also our least densely populated eastern state. Almost 90% of Maine is covered by forest, which is why it's called the Pine Tree State. But Maine is also known for its long, rugged coastline. In fact, it competes with Florida for having the most shoreline along the Atlantic Ocean. Maine's first state flag appeared in 1901. It was a very simple design. Then, in 1909, a new flag was created. It was much more complex, but not everyone saw it as an improvement.
Maine is an interesting flag in that in recent years there have been 2 attempts to return it to its former, simpler design, which was just a pine tree and the North Star. What they have now is the state coat of arms, which features still the pine tree, still the North Star, but also a moose resting beneath the pine tree. To the left of this image, you have a farmer, and that's in reference to all the agriculture in Maine. Maine is known for its blueberries and potatoes. To the right, you see a sailor.
The sailor symbolizes Maine's connection to the sea, including its fishing and shipbuilding industries. The North Star has served as a guiding light for sailors since ancient times. Just below the star is the state motto, Dirigo, Latin for I lead. A knotted fringe of yellow silk gently surrounds the state seal. Unlike other states, Maine's first European explorers were probably not British, Spanish, French, or Italian. It's believed that Nordic sailors arrived here almost 600 years before Columbus. We know these seafaring adventurers by a more familiar name, Vikings, With Flag Facts, I'm Eric.
You probably already know that the tallest mountain on Earth's surface is Mount Everest. It stands just slightly over 29,000 feet above sea level, but it's not our planet's tallest mountain. That honor goes to Mauna Kea in the Hawaiian Islands. But if we just said that Mount Everest is the tallest, how can Mauna Kea be taller? Easy. So from base to top, Mauna Kea is about 33,000 feet tall, and that's about 4,000 feet taller than Everest. But even Mauna Kea is a little more than a big hill compared to the tallest mountain in our solar system. On the planet Mars is Olympus Mons. At 72,000 feet, it's way higher than Mauna Kea and Mount Everest combined. It's impossible to grasp the extraordinary height of Mons from overhead photos. Both Olympus Mons and Mauna Kea are volcanoes. Kea is believed to be dormant, but Mons is relatively young and could erupt one of these days. But if Mons does erupt, gigantic as it is, scientists say it will have no effect on us here on Earth. Good. One more item to cross off my list of things to worry about. For Teen Kids News, I'm Reese.
It's time for a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with more Teen Kids News, so don't go away. Study after study reveals that teens are sleep deprived. Even when we go to bed early, many of us lie awake for hours. One of the reasons why we don't get restful sleep is called the monkey mind. Emily explains in Yoga and You.
We're back again with yoga expert Brenda Schnabel. Hi.
Hi.
So tell us about what the monkey mind means.
The monkey mind is when you can't shut those thoughts off. You're jumping from thought to thought like a monkey jumps from branch to branch. It's most common when you go to sleep at night. You just can't get that mind to turn off. And so there's a couple things you can do to shut that or slow that monkey mind down. One of them is an inversion. Would you like to try?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So let's turn this way so that we don't run into each other. This is called ragdoll. From back when I was a kid, there was a doll called Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy.
Right.
So you just bend over, hold those elbows. An inversion has a calming effect because the heart is above the head. And then just release those elbows and slowly roll up. The next thing you can do for the monkey mind is balance poses. Balances are great because they make you focus and concentrate on something. So we're going to stand on our right foot. This is called tree pose. And we're going to look at a focal point and concentrate on that and put our left foot on our calf. And bring the hands to the heart. Don't forget to breathe.
And is this eyes closed or eyes open?
You want to keep your eyes open because you're looking at that focal point. And then come on out. And the third thing you can do is a breathing technique called three-part breathing. Imagine your lungs as a balloon. A balloon being filled with water goes from the bottom to the top, side to side, front and back. And so when you breathe deep and you fill your lungs, your thoughts begin to slow down. So you want to give it a try?
Sure.
All right. So when you breathe, you close those eyes and just think of filling that balloon or the bottom of your lungs to the top. And then exhale out. And then breathing from the inside of the lungs to the ribs. And then front to back. And then you put it all together. And open those eyes. How you feel?
Very good. So when would you do these exercises?
Especially since you feel it most or you notice it most at night, when you go to bed, I would do it like 30 minutes before you go to bed to just begin to calm that mind down.
And then it helps you go to sleep.
Yes.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome.
With Yoga and You, I'm Emily.
Who doesn't love Girl Scout cookies? But what are the top 3 faves? In third place are tagalongs, also called peanut butter patties. Why the 2 different names, you might ask? It's because 2 different companies bake the cookies. So, some Girl Scout troops sell tagalongs while other troops sell almost the same exact cookie called peanut butter patty. Okay, so in second place are Samoas, also known as caramel delights. Whatever you call them, they are a tasty and crispy combination of the 3 C's: coconut, caramel, and chocolate. Yum! And year after year, the hands-down favorite is Thin Mints. Seems like both companies called these cookies Thin Mints. They're so popular, 1 out of every 4 cookies sold by Girl Scouts are Thin Mints. So, do the 2 types of cookies taste the same? Let's see. Well, I'm going to have to do a bit more research. For Teen Kids News, I'm Alexandra.
That's it for this edition of Teen Kids News. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.